Richician.
Hey YouTube, Dog Richician 84 here, and welcome to Q&A number 97. Let's kick this off. First questions are from Matt and Alison Welch, as usual. 1. If you were to build more real-life September 7 format decks, which ones would you make? I know you said you could make your Asta Phoenix character deck into a September 2007 format Destiny Hero deck, since they were big back then in that format, even though that was before Destiny and Dragoon was thought of. I don't know if pure Destiny Heroes were big back then. Well, the closest thing was Diamond Duke Turbo and Perfect Circle Monarch. But anyway, to answer your question, Diamond Duke Turbo is something I would rebuild. That was one of the very few competitive decks that I actually did genuinely like, purely because it was a hero deck. And I actually did rebuild it back in 2014 for some past format games. I don't know what I did with it though. I think I traded the parts. But I would rebuild that, and yeah, I think I actually will turn my Asta character deck into a into an old school Destiny Hero deck. Alright, it wouldn't be a full-on proper character deck, but at least it would work a lot better than yeah, the actual character deck, because it's just, I mean, it's fun, but it's also slow, inconsistent, and bricky as fuck, so I'll probably do that. Other ones, I take inspiration from your collections. I mean, I would love to rebuild my generic dinosaur deck from back then. Even though I hate them nowadays because Ultimate Conductor Tyranno, Lost World, and the Phosagem exist, I will happily play old school dinosaurs again. Well, like Ultimate, Ultimate Tyranno, Superconductor Tyranno, and Black Tyranno and Dark Triceratops would be my boss monsters. Yeah, they're just more fun. I also would like to remake my generic warriors from back then as well. In fact, I'm actually thinking about making two different generic warrior decks. One from September 7, the other from GOAT format. Yeah, I think they'd be a lot more fun and easier to play than the current format build I have. I mean, it kind of works, but it's just not the same as it was before. I don't know about my generic machines though. Maybe I will, but but I don't know yet. 2. You're at a big tournament and you decide to enter it. You come across a duelist with special powers. He challenges you to a duel, and if you win one of the 3 archetypes he lists to you, gets erased from the game, which is Insectors, Wind-Ups, and Artifacts. Which one would you want to see erased from the game the most, and would you accept that duelist's challenge? This is a tricky one, because none of these decks are actually archetypes that I hate. Well, I mean, Artifacts did have one annoying monster that I wish never existed, and that was Scythe But now that that's banned, I don't have a problem with artifacts. Um, if this question was brought up in 2012, I would say wind ups in a heartbeat. Because in the March 12 format, it was a hand loop deck, which made me hate them. And like I said before, that and Dark World made March 2012 one of the worst formats ever. Um, and they weren't much better in the September 2012 format when it became an OTK deck. Um, Insectors are very tricky and tough to beat, or at least they were in 2012. Not so much nowadays. So, I wouldn't choose Insectors. Um, hmm, this is a really tricky one though, because like I said, I just don't hate any of these decks. I don't know. Um, I suppose if I really had to choose, I'd choose artifacts purely because they have very disruptive plays, especially with their quick play spell. What's it called? Ignition, I think. And then there's Moral Talk, which pops a card. Um, yeah, that's what I'd choose. But I'm not. I don't think I would accept the challenge. Purely because I have no beef with any of those three decks. But again, if it was 2012, I absolutely would accept it just to erase wind-ups from the game. Three. In Yu-Gi-Oh! Waking the Dragons, when Atem was dueling Weevil and Joey was dueling Rex, they obviously both upgraded their decks thanks to Dart's collection of rare cards. Which one out of Rex and Weevil had the best deck in your opinion? Um, I'd say probably Weevil. Um, I mean, as Rex was just focusing on raw power basically, and that's generally easy to deal with. And yeah, although Joey did require a lot of luck to get around his cards, but it was handled well. Meanwhile, Weaver was playing a stall strategy with a little bit of burn, and stopped Atem from attacking. Um, uh, and yeah, Atem was just in a really bad spot until he drew into Breaker the Magical Warrior. And what was that trap that he used to copy Insect Queen? Um, I can't remember. Um, but, but yeah, those two cards just pretty much saved him, and so did Berserker Soul. Um, and yeah, I'd say yeah, although Yugi had generally better cards than Joey, yeah, Yugi just really struggled for a while. That's why I'd say Weevil. Um, Also, before I continue, there was another question posted on a different Q&A episode, which I was meant to bring up last week, but completely forgot. In the comments section of Q&A number 94, Nordic Wolf asked this question. Is there any way we could see a duel with your Crystal Beasts, Rockets, and Dark Magician? Current format three-way duel. Um, I'm sure we can arrange that. I'd need two of my friends to help me with that one. But I'm calling dibs on Dark Magician. Just saying. Um, uh, yeah, I'm sure we can arrange it. I'd need someone who knows how to play rockets and crystal beasts. But George knows how to play both. Even though well, no disrespect, but there are things with his rocket deck that he could do a lot better. Not in terms of the cards themselves, but just the way he uses them. Um, but like for instance, in that battle royale we all had in last year, where Emma came to visit and join us. When he After he normal summoned Rocket Tracer and played Quick Launch, he could have chained Tracer's effect to destroy the Quick Launch and then special summon another Rocket, which would have opened him with more plays. But instead, he just went for Borreload Savage Dragon with no links engraved. Um, uh, um, yeah, I'm sure we can arrange something somehow. I'll see what I can do. But again, guys, when you submit questions, can you please submit them in the comments of the latest Q&A video that gets uploaded, the very most recent one that gets put up on my channel. So in this case, once this video is uploaded, then any new questions should be put in the comments section of this Q&A episode. And then so on and so forth with every new episode that gets uploaded. Otherwise, it can get too confusing and I'll end up missing out on questions like I did already. Um, anyway, next question is from Chris Reinhardt. Why not swap Wildheart for another Stratos and Wild Wingman for the new Flame Wingman? Both would help help you deck fin with searching cards to help make plays. I mean, yeah, that is true. Although after I did that Q&A, I did already swap out Nebula Neos for Flame Wingman Infernal Rage. And I did acquire a copy of Aquadolphin, which I might uh, take up Dark Panther for. So that way it gives me an extra warrior to use for Wake Up Your Elemental Hero. Um, but yeah, you do have a good point about a third Stratos. I mean, I might consider it, depending how much I need Nebula Neos. But I kind of like having Wild Heart and Wild Wingman in there, as well as all the other old school elemental heroes. In fact, there's hardly any old school elemental heroes left in the deck. Um, and it's just unfortunate. Um, yeah, we really need the extra deck limit to be increased just so I can make room for other things. Of course, I might go with your plan. In fact, I'm still thinking about combining my Elemental Hero and Rainbow Neos decks together, where Rainbow Neos, uh, Shining Flare Wingman, and Shining Neos Wingman are my three fusion boss monsters. So I might just do that, and then make a separate Elemental Hero deck, which plays all the old school ones that I couldn't fit into my Elemental Hero deck as it is now. I might think about that. Next questions are from Gungner, and did you really just make a Ugandan Knuckles joke to start things off? Um, One, the archetype labyrinth is the Disney movie Beauty and the Beast. Oh, really? Do you know more Disney movies hidden in Yu-Gi-Oh cards? Um, I actually did not know that about the labyrinth archetype. Um, and I have no idea about any other Disney references. Well, except maybe the obvious fairy tale archetype, the Golden Castle deck, basically, um, where Princess Inn and the Pumpkin Carriage is a reference to the Cinderella story, not just the Disney movie, but as a whole. But was renamed, what was it, Princess Inn? For some reason, maybe there's some. Uh, there would have been a copyright issue otherwise. I don't know. Um, I have no idea about any others, but yeah, post in the comments down below if anyone else knows the answer to this question. Two, yeah, this is the exact same question as Chris Reinhardt. Yeah, you both had the same idea. I think you can drop Wild Hearts for another Stratus and drop Wild Wingman for the new Flame Wingman. What do you think about? Well, I already answered that question, so I can just skip over that one. Three, with the new 25th anniversary special box coming in the next few months, which of the new OCG rarities included are your favourites? By the way, Magician's Salvation is most likely in that box in all 7 rarities. I don't really know actually. I mean, I heard that there's kind of an ultimate rare in this, but not really. The problem is I'm not that familiar with the news, so I don't really know what all these new rarities are. So I don't know if I can answer that question really. But I mean, if Ultimate Rares come back, then that would be a favourite, I guess. Considering that it's my second favourite rarity. Um, and that's actually it for questions in this episode. Thank you very much for your guys' questions. And if you've got any other questions you want to ask me, post them in the comments section down below. And remember, I do these episodes every Tuesday afternoon or evening UK time, so be sure to get your question in before then so that you don't miss out. Of course, that being said, though, I'm not going to be able to film an episode next week because I'll be away on holiday with Emma and my family. Um, so there just won't be any time for me to film an episode. So the next episode will be in 2 weeks' time. Okay, 2 weeks from the time of recording this video. So yeah, that gives you plenty of time to submit some questions. And again, remember, please submit new questions to the comments section of the absolute latest Q&A that gets uploaded, just so I can keep track of everything more easily and not miss anyone out. Yeah. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll catch you later. Bye-bye. Thank you very much for watching. Be sure to subscribe to the Richician YouTube channel.